Welcome to Social Science class. Today I will teach you History Unit 3. Impact of British rule in India. Impact means effect. Okay, children, in the previous chapters you have learned that British arrived to India for trade. But gradually what happened? They started ruling India. They ruled India for nearly 200 years. Now they rule their administration, how they ruled, how much their act, law, regulations, rules affected Indians in both the way, good and bad. That you are going to learn now in this chapter. Now firstly I will explain the British East India Company fulfilled its commercial needs in the beginning as trade company. The British East India Company implemented various administrative experiments in order to achieve a new order in India. Administrative and judicial system. Under this headline, first I will take civil service. Civil means people. Now generally the peoples will have every day-to-day problem. To solve that problem, how British they reacted with the Indians. Civil service. Main intent of civil services is to strengthen the administrative capacity to perform important government functions. These reforms raise the quality of services to the citizens that are essential to the advancement of supportable economic and social development. Next, the judicial system, law and order. Judicial system or the court system is also the judiciary system. The court has the power to make decisions and also enforce the law, solve disputes. Judiciary system consists of judges and other magistrates. They form the bench or the core of the judiciary system. Next comes police system. District police is divided into two major branches of police force, which are the armed police and the civil police. The primary function of civil force is to control crime, while the primary function of armed police is to deal with law and order situation. Armed police is the reserve police of the district. Next, military system. The Indian armed forces are the military forces of the Republic of India. It consists of three professional uniformed services: the Indian Army, the Indian Navy and the Indian Air Force. The Indian armed forces are under the management of the Ministry of Defence and mode of government. Now here the military system under the British administered over India with the help of all military system I explained. They appointed Indian soldiers and called them sepoys. They used them to suppress any revolt which took place in India, any rebellion or battles in India. All high posts were reserved for the British. Indians were considered inefficient for those posts, and Indian soldiers were paid very less salary, whereas British soldiers or higher post people were paid high salary. Transfer to any places, only Indian soldiers were transferred, not British soldiers or high officials. And they were all sent, mostly Indian soldiers were sent to the war and control the revolt, not British soldiers or high officials. This partiality was going in the military system of British. Now next I'll come to the land tax policies. Children, the land taxes policy. But here and there in the future unit, they will say one word or two words in any unit about this land tax policies. Again, I have to mention, I have to explain all this. So what I say, to be on the safer side, now I'll explain now. So whenever in the future units or chapters, it will come in one line or two line, so that it will be easy for you to understand. Land taxes policies. It is a state level tax, but 100% of the revenue is used to fund local councils. The rate is set by the local council within the limits of 0.1 to 2.5%. It is one of the most important sources of funding for municipalities. And now the company had to pay 4 lakhs pounds to the British government to keep Bengal under its control. It also was in need of regular income to fight their wars, pay the officials, and maintain their offices. To increase their income, they introduced 3 types of land taxes on Indians to pool money for this purpose. Firstly, they introduced permanent zamindari system. Zamindari system was introduced by Lord Cornwallis through permanent settlement during the British period. Under the system, zamindar was the landlord of an area, and he had to pay a fixed sum of land revenue to the state, which he collected from the peasants. Peasants means farmers. The purpose was to ensure a fixed revenue for the state. Next, after this permanent introduction of the permanent zamindari system, they found some drawbacks. So they changed the system, land tax system. Mahalwari, they introduced Mahalwari system. Mahal means taluk. Mahalwari system was one of the main revenue systems of the British in India. Holt Mackenzie and Robert Bird started this system in 1822. In this system, the land revenue was collected by the village headman and it was not fixed. The peasants were the owner of the land and every peasant had to give his share to the revenue. And next, even this also, Mahalwari system also, they found some drawbacks. After some period, they changed it to Raitwari system. Raitwari system was introduced by Thomas Munro in 1820. Major areas of introduction include Madras, Bombay, parts of Assam, and Coorg provinces of British India. In Raitwari system, the ownership rights were handed over to the peasants. Again, I'll repeat, peasants means farmers. British government collected taxes directly from the peasants. Now here they shows peasants are the owner of the land. Then they'll pay the tax to the zamindars. Zamindars consolidating all the taxes they'll pay to the British government. It was introduced by Thomas Munro. Now next one, what were the results of the or effect of the British land tax system? The British rulers in India were credited with introduction of new concept of generalized private property in Indian legal system. Wide number of conflict could be seen and the land taxes are financed colonial conquest with the rule in Indian country. Now I'll come to the modern education system of British. Now here, the education which was taught in the schools today is a modern education, and British, they introduced earlier period, education was imparted through Pathashalas before British introduction of their education. Again, I repeat, earlier to the British period, education was imparted through Pathashalas and madrasas. On the advice of T.B. Macaulay and William Bentinck, introduced English education in India in 1835. Thus, English schools were started at all important centers throughout the country. In 1854, Charles Wood Commissioner, he proposed the establishment of universities. As a result, these were established at Calcutta, Bombay and Madras. Now next, impact of British education in India. The introduction of Western education opened the gates of Western knowledge and science. Indians became aware of ideas of democracy, secularism, modernity. They also developed rational thinking and nationalistic ideas. It also was helpful in reducing the caste barriers. It resulted in the emergence of new social and religious reform movements. Periodicals were published not only in English but also in few local languages. Periodicals means pertaining to any one subject or issue. They will publish a special magazine that is called. Shall I start? Children, impact of English education in India. The introduction of Western education opened the gates of Western knowledge and science. The Indians became aware of the ideas of democracy, secularism, and modernity. They also developed rational thinking and nationalistic ideas. It also was helpful in reducing the caste barriers. Caste system, the Shudra, Vaishya, Brahmana, Kshatriya, that is caste system. It also was helpful in reducing the caste barriers. It resulted in the emergence of new social and religious reform movements. Periodicals were published not only in English. Periodicals means magazine. Children, it is related to particular specific topics like medicine, architecture, art, literature, like that. It related to only one topic, that is called periodicals. The periodicals were published not only in English but also in few local languages. These helped the people to scrutinize the policies and working of the government and also study various issues critically, whether they are doing wrong or right, whether favorable or not favorable. They can judge. Educated youth began admiring the thoughts of thinkers like J.S. Mill, Rousseau and Montesquieu. Indians became aware of the freedom struggle going on in other parts of the world. Indians developed a sense of pride regarding their culture and rich heritage. Now, like this, now British, whatever they did for education, it's a very great contribution, children. And also like this only, see, British not only they occupied, conquered, overruled, and then collected taxes, and then partial towards our soldiers, whatever, that bad effects, even they have done good effects also. Good and bad, both are the two faces in the same coin. So related to education, really they have given a moral education, and that only made the Indians to think and resolved and also provoked the national struggle in the future. Now by this, now you don't have constitutional development children, it is reduced. So I am not going to teach you now. Now by this I will wind up, and then next class I will meet you with other chapter, next chapter. Until then, now I'll ask you related to this a few questions. What was the impact of British rule on Indian economy? Why was it important to understand the economic impact of British rule in India? How did the British restrict India's economy? What was the impact of British imperialism? What were the, make the list of the effects of British education on India. That's it. So I'll wind up with this, and next class I will come with a new interesting chapter. Until then, take care. Bye bye. Thank you.